Hey, I know that you have a smoke break, so can we talk for a minute? I know your mom's getting started on Easter orders, and I know that you take a smoke break every couple hours, and it's not because I've been casing the joint or anything weird. I just know that, okay? I also just made my Easter cake order, so can you just talk to me for 5 seconds like a human being? Also, as your other boss, you have to talk to me right now. Please. When you were in jail, did you ever meet anyone that killed somebody? Did they seem normal to you? I was afraid of that. You know how I always used to tell everybody that my dad was a traveling salesman? He was more like a house painter. It's all code, you know? I hear you paint houses, I hear you do sales. I mean, he did other stuff, but that was his big thing. He'd go wherever anybody needed him and he'd make a sale. Guess I'm really in the fucking family business now. It was Georgie Pierce. I didn't think an old man would have so much fight still in him. I mean, he came up with my Uncle Swanee. That makes him, 70-something? And they make it look so fucking easy on TV. You just go in and you do it, and nobody tells you that you don't get it on the first try. He was always a mean old fuck anyway. I'm not shocked that he had some... I'm not shocked it took me a couple of tries. And I thought it wouldn't bug me as much, because it's not the first time I've done that. Please don't repeat what I'm about to tell you. Not even to your mom. I really want your mom to keep liking me. She's a nice lady. Do you remember when we were freshmen and they found that girl in the river? Audrey Danskin. Alex, I'm sorry. And it was all over the news and everybody was saying what a fucking angel she was, but Alex, she was so fucking mean, and I have no idea why. It was just like she was born that way. She was like the fucking bad seed. Everybody was afraid of her, even the nuns at the girls' school. And I did everything that you're supposed to do. I ignored her. I tried to talk to her. I tried to fight back, but I couldn't fight back because everybody knew about who my father was and my mother and the whole thing, and I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want people coming and looking around, so I just took it. There was this abandoned house that Antonia Maraschino and I used to go hang out at after school, and it was just to do dumb shit. Her older sister used to buy us Smirnoff Ices, and we'd smoke cigarettes, and we'd pretend that we were so super grown up, dumb 8th grader shit. And one day, Audrey followed us, and she just started breaking everything, and she was just, on this fucking rampage. She was like an animal, and I didn't want to get pushed anymore. She was always pushing. She pushed me in the hallway. She pushed me down the stairs. She pushed me in the parking lot. She used to beat the shit out of me. She wasn't even that much bigger than me, and I just didn't want to get pushed anymore. And she was pushing and pushing, and I pushed her back, and she fell through the floor. And there was a basement under the house, and she went through the first floor into the basement. And I didn't even realize how rotted the floors were, but she just made this... She made a noise, Alex. And then she was quiet. And I think it was the first time that she'd been that quiet for that long. She always had something fucked up to say to me, and I just looked down through the hole in the floor, and I knew. Tony started freaking out because of her family, and I started freaking out because of my family, and I called my mom, and I told her what happened. I told her there was an accident, and I wanted to call the cops or an ambulance, and she told me, stay right there, I'm coming to get you. And McCool's Heating and Cooling, yeah, that's another traveling sales cover. And she borrowed one of their trucks, and she pulled up. And we put her in the back of the truck, and we drove her to the Carmen's River, and we threw her in. And then the next weekend, my mom took me to the outlets and she bought me this pair of black gloves, this like really expensive pair of black leather winter gloves. Because if you're gonna defend yourself, people aren't gonna understand. And even if it's an accident, people won't listen. So you just gotta be ready to be a ghost all the time. And I blocked it out for so many years. And it was on the news and her parents were upset. And you know, I don't know. Maybe she would have grown out of it, or maybe she would have gotten some help and she would have become a good person and we could have laughed about this when we were adults, and I will never know. And I could always at least say that that was an accident. And it wasn't an accident now. If you tell anybody I'm crying on you like this, I'm gonna have you sit back in jail. Good talk. Fine. I'm gonna be fine. I don't know. I had a moment, you know? It happens. It shouldn't fuck me up as much as it does, but I just guess that was the one thing I had, you know? And now I'm my father's daughter. Dom and I are separated. No, not yet. You can put that away for later. Give it to somebody else. That hug was a business transaction, okay? I'll put it in your paycheck. I don't know. He's all I've ever known my whole life. And now he's getting further and further away. So what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm not ready for anything else yet, but I know eventually I'll wonder. I'll get lonely. Oh, I'm sure you will be right there. Open arms, open legs, and an open mouth. Yeah, but like, would you be there? In a totally platonic, not weird way? Like, as two people? I'd like that. I'd like to just have someone there. Thanks, Alex. I gotta go call McCool's. They can't pick up the mess, but they can adjust some things. I gotta have everything planned out by family dinner this Sunday. By the way, not a lot of people grow out of it. That's something you should be impressed by, okay? You should be proud of yourself for that.